Hey, what are we talking about today?
Well, what we're talking about today is the way that we actually talk to each other. So what it is, our brains are very receptive, and it's called neuroception. So we'll pick up pitch, tone, demeanour instantly. And so the moment someone is slightly stressed in their voice, we'll pick it up, and then we'll feel slightly tense actually. So this is all subconscious. We don't go, oh, this person's got a bit of a pitch and tone that's a bit tense, so now I better be alert.
You just feel it.
Exactly. And neuroception is that you know this person, and so you know exactly when it's going to happen. And so I'm thinking this morning, so kids are going to go back to school this week, and parents are going to be slightly stressed. You know what it's like. There's this intention, this tenseness in your voice. And so what happens is that the kids then will respond. They'll feel it, and then they'll react rather than respond. So the ideal way to communicate is for us to always to respond in a calm, warm, friendly, non-stressful manner, and that way tensions remain less, and then we can be more relaxed, and we chilled out, and things go more smoothly. But the moment someone gets a little bit stressed, and they go into, particularly if they go into sort of command and demand mode, and things aren't happening the way that they should happen, expectations aren't being met, and there's tension in the voice, the other person then will hear it, and then what happens? It very easily escalates.
They'll feel tension as well, and then...
Yes, and so then they'll express that tension back. So everybody knows what I'm talking about because we all know what that is.
Can I give you a case scenario?
Yeah, go for it.
Because I know this couple that were driving to church yesterday morning.
Yes.
I mean, this is like a random couple that maybe you wouldn't know. And he actually works in radio in Hobart, this guy.
Yeah.
And his wife jumped in the car and she sounded a little bit stressed. And he said to her, why are you talking to me this way?
And what happened then?
And then maybe it escalated a little bit. And then they're having a discussion, and then he said to her, I don't think you talk to your friends this way. Why do you talk to me this way?
Oh, yes, I've heard that before, actually.
Yeah. What would you say to that guy who's now in trouble with his wife?
Yeah, first thing is, we don't talk to our friends. This is what we talked about last week. Remember? We talked about how we sort of adapt to various contexts and situations, and we will. And some people say we're faking it. No, we're being genuinely authentic in that situation because we know how to communicate with friends, which is different to those people who we're familiar with. And because friends don't annoy us as quickly as our partners, we will definitely talk to them slightly different. But I understand that his appeal, and she really needs to hear it as an appeal. So he's feeling it. So he's not reacting to her, but he's just describing, why are you talking to me this way? I would prefer it if you talk differently. And I think that's okay, actually.
Oh, I feel much better now, thanks.
I feel much better now. But often we can make an appeal. I think, if someone is being tense and stressed out and they're talking to you in that particular manner, you're more likely to feel it and you'll react because we don't like it. What we like is people being friendly, smiling around us, having a pitch and tone which express that they care, that they're interested, that they're curious, that they sort of want to support. That time pitch and tone, and when we hear that, we feel relaxed, we feel loved, we feel cared for.
But if they're frustrated about something, like this woman who jumped in the car yesterday morning and you're on the way to church, if she was upset about something, and I said, "Why are you talking this way?" like kind of thing, or "Why are you talking to me this way?" Isn't that just undermining her frustration? Like, shouldn't you acknowledge her frustration?
He could validate the emotion first. Like if he said, "Oh, look, I can hear you're upset about something," or "Is something stressing you out, darling?" Although you've got to be careful with the words you use too, actually. Or, I can see you feeling a bit tense. He could validate the emotion, which is an empathic move towards her, and then she can explain why she's talking that way. That would be helpful. But I do understand why he would have felt it at that point, you see. And if he's puzzled why she's talking to him that way, because he feels like she might have something with him, but she might be talking to him in that way because something else has happened and she's just feeling the stress and she can't sort of modulate her voice now in a new context with her husband. I mean, that can also happen. But basically, look, we are responsible for the way that we talk to people. And if we can be kind, generous, caring, and just adapt to the situation and really just change, we're quite capable of doing it. Like I said to you last week, you could be arguing with someone and then the phone rings and you'll pick it up and you'll instantly...
Calm and collected.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're quite capable of being calm and collected if we want to be. And I would say that if she'd got in the car with her friends, she probably wouldn't have talked that way to her friends. But because that's her husband, because he's just him, we tend to be a little bit... I mean, I know myself, it's just the way we are. But I guess my appeal this morning is the more we can just take a breath and talk in a friendly, kind way.
I think the outcome would also be a better outcome if we can learn to just talk friendly to each other, be kind to each other. And you can still have that tough conversation, but you can do it in a kind way. Yeah.
I mean, being polite. I mean, we don't hear that word much, but I remember I was taught when I was young, you had to be polite. It was just something you automatically had to do.
Yeah.
You talk in a polite way to people. I even find sometimes when I go shopping, there are some shop assistants who are automatically polite, but some can be quite abrupt. I'm going like,
really? Come on, you paid to be kind to people.
That's right. I mean, I get that people have moods and things, but we are quite capable of adjusting and adapting, and we can actually instantly be polite if we're in a certain context and to certain people.
So we can choose to do that to the people that we love the most.
Exactly. And so the more polite we are and the more calm we are, the more calm people are around us.
And probably the better outcomes.
Yep. And you'll be appreciated more. And you know what? We respect people who can be calm, polite, caring, measured in the way they speak, slow down. We like being in the presence of those kind of people.
And it doesn't mean we gloss over stuff. Like, you don't have to gloss over stuff. Like, I think people go, well, if I can't speak this way, then we're not going to deal with it. But you can still deal with it, can't you?
Yes, yeah, because you can have a discussion about it rather than sort of coming in and zeroing in on one particular point and then making it explosive by your pitch, tone, and demeanour.
And then that's when you do not deal with it. That's when it just blows up.
Yep, and some people just switch off. I mean, I believe people who, if there's a particular pitch and tone, they'll just switch off. They just won't hear it.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to take this person on.